So this is obviously a powerful documentary, but it's still got like a dark side to it. What just made you want to kind of jump back out there since your previous documentary with Newtown and tap into another mass shooting?
I didn't intend to. I landed in Florida by happenstance following another story, and the shooting happened while I was there. So it was complete karma, if you will. And these kids arrived on the steps of the state capitol in Florida. And after doing Newtown, the one part of the story I wasn't done with was the idea of traumatized youth, the surviving traumatized youth in inner cities all over this country. And with 9 kids a day on average being killed by guns, I just felt like the country was not understanding or taking in the cost and the fallout of traumatized youth. So then Parkland happened, and I thought this has to be a film told from the lens of kids, how kids are feeling about this and what they've done to actually change things.
So I want to speak to your approach because when you think about it, going and approaching victims after such a traumatizing incident, it's probably not the easiest, especially since they have to kind of relive the event in order to tell this story. So what kind of approach did you use when you reached out to the students this time around?
Patience. Some students, like Sam Fuentes, who was shot in her Holocaust Studies class, I met her early on, and we started to forge trust about a story that she's very much a central voice in. Some of the other kids that were more well known, I followed them on something called Road to Change across the country, and I waited. They had lots of media following them, but we built trust after that, and I really tried to give them back their story so that they could control their own narrative, and worked very collaboratively with them.
Like we often talk about the issue with gun control, but if you think about the incidents leading up to gun control, it's like this reoccurring cycle of bullying. What is your take on what's happening to the students beforehand, before they pull the trigger? Not to say like they're right for doing so, but I feel like we often deflect and don't address what's happening to those students that makes them want to do those awful actions.
I think it's hard to lump, you know, the the human beings, the perpetrators of these horrendous acts together. Clearly, some of them have mental health issues. Um, to generalize, I think it's more important. Friends of mine from Newtown started an amazing program about knowing the signs and being able to educate kids in school of looking at social media and being able to actually, so that's Sandy Hook Promise, who from our life, but they do a lot of work at looking at signs and educating people on how to identify and let people know if there are classmates that they feel that way about.
Gotcha. Well, thank you so much for your time and congratulations.